Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope each one of you is safe at home. Students, you have already received your online assessment timetable and online assessment program, that is your portion. And I hope each one of you must have started studying for this online assessment. Students, we have already completed 3 lessons of history and 1 of civics. You have 2 lessons of history and 1 lesson of civics for your assessment. So, today students, we are going to revise and do the revision of lesson number 1, which is going to help you in giving your online assessment. Okay, so let's get started. Now, students, see on a screen, that is the question number 3, which we had already done when we did the textual exercises. So, we are going to revise this once again. And what is this question? Find the odd man out. So, the first one, that is material sources, written sources, unwritten sources and oral sources. So, I had already given you the answer. What is the answer there? Unwritten sources. See the second one, monuments, coins, caves, sculpture and stories. So, the odd man out here is stories, and already I had explained to you. So, why unwritten sources or why stories are, that is odd man out? Because maybe some are the material sources and unwritten sources is not a material source, or you are going to see that is the stories. So others are material sources and stories are the oral sources. Then see the third one, that is Rujpatras, temples, treatises and paintings. So temple is the odd man out. And the fourth one, Ovis, Tariq, folktales and myths. So Tariq is an odd man out. Now students, you must be wondering why the teacher is reading the same thing again. But you are going to get a practice how you are going to get the questions for your online assessment and how are you going to take it. So it's going to be MCQ questions. So on the next slide, I have tried to give some questions and how you are going to pick the answers when you get your online assessment. Students, now see the question on the screen. I want you to take a rough book or maybe where you are doing your revision and write down these questions. Right? So you will get a practice of how you are going to do it in your assessment. Now see the first question here. Tick at the odd man out in the following. Right? So see the first one. How many are there? 3 are there. So material sources, unwritten sources and oral sources. So which will be the odd man there in the first one? Yes, it is unwritten sources. So what you have to do when you get such type of question, you are going to tick at unwritten sources. So what have you done here? You have found the odd man out and ticked at the correct answer. Yes? Okay. Now see the second one. Second one, now again 3 are given here, that is monuments, coins and stories. So as I told you earlier, monuments and coins, right? So they are going to be the material source and stories is an oral source. So what is the odd man out here? That is the stories, right? Now see the third one here. Now third one, that is the temples, paintings and treatises. So here the odd man out will be the second one. You are going to click it on the second one. So you have to think and click it. That is what I am doing here. I am finding the odd man out. what I have studied, that is the sources of history, right? And in sources of history, you have studied about material source, written source and oral source, right? So now think and then find out the answer and then you have to click, right students? See the other one, that is the Ovid, tarikhs and folktale. So here also in the same way you are going to find the odd man out and you are going to click on it, right students? As we are discussing with this, and this is as a revision, I want you to write it down in your notebook and take and click at the correct answer, right? So it is already been done, you have the answers with you, so you can tick the answers. Then the fifth one, that is the shrine, tomb and palace, right? So again you are going to find out what is the odd man out in this. And then the sixth one. Now sixth one is sea fort, land fort and Lal Mahal. So which will be the odd man out there? That is Lal Mahal. So you have to tick at Lal Mahal, right? So in this way you are going to get the question and you are going to tick at the odd man out, right? So three options will be given here. So from that one you have to tick so that you can get the right answer. I suppose you have understood the first type of question, MCQ type of question that you are going to get for your assessment. Question number 2, that is on page number 6 of your workbook. This also is already done. So we are going to revise this once again. Complete the names of the following sources of history, right? So it is given in the type of, you can say that is you have to complete by giving the dash, right? Now see the first one. Now what is the word for the first one? The word for the first one is legend, right? See the answers are there down, students, there. Then the second one, T dash 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 H, and what is the word there? Tariq. Third one, B dash 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 R, and what is the answer given? Bakar. Fourth one, P dash 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 A, and what is the answer? Ovada. Fifth one, I dash 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 I dash dash I dash N, and what is the word there? Inscription. Sixth one, M dash dash U dash 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 T, and what is the word there? Monument. Right students? Now, how are you going to get this type of question for your assessment? Right? So, let's see on the next slide how are you going to get this question and where you are going to tick at the right answer. Okay, now see on your screen students, right? I want you to pay attention on the screen. Okay, now see here for this question, if you get for assessment, what is very important is knowing the spelling of the sources of history. Now see the first one here, there are three options. Out of that, one is correct. Sources of history or the source of history, right? See the first one. And what will be the correct spelling here? That is Legend, legend. So the first one is correct and the next two are wrong, right? So when you are going to get such type of question for assessment, so you are going to tick at the correct spelling of source of history. So the first one is correct here. Now in the same way, I have given you 6. So see the second one. Now second one, which one is going to be the correct one? Yes, which one? Second one. So what is the correct spelling? Tarikh, that is Tariq. So the first and the third one are wrong. So you are going to tick at the second one. In the same way, coming to the third one, now what is the correct spelling for Bhakar? Bakhar. So which is the correct one here? That is the third one. So you are going to tick for the third one, right? Then coming to the fourth one, where you have to find out the correct spelling for the source of history, that is Povada, and see the three spellings that are given. So you should know the correct spelling of Povada. And which one is that? Yes, that is the first one. So you are going to click on the first one. Then coming to the fifth one, inscription. Now again I feel that the first one is correct. Inscription. What is the spelling? INSCRIPTION. Right? So whatever spelling is correct, so you should know the spelling and then you are going to tick at that. And the sixth one is monument, and here the second one is correct, MONUMENT, right? So you are going to tick at the second one. Okay, so this will be in a form of MCQ question. Again, students, write this down and take. Otherwise, you can take the screenshot or pause the video and write down these answers and practice it in this way. So this type of question you will get as MCQ question for your assessment. Now see students, on your screen you have let's write, that is answer in one sentence. Now see the first one, we are revising it again. What do monuments include? Now monuments include samadhis, graves, virgala and buildings. Now see students, here also you will get the question, what do monuments include? And you will get the three options, that is monuments include now samadhis, graves, virgala and buildings. So instead of that you are going to get, that is palaces or sea forts, right? So in this type you are going to get three sentences, and then what you have to do, as we have done it in two questions I gave you, that is find the odd man out, and the next one, that is to find out the correct spelling for the source of history. So in the same way, three sentences or answers will be given, and you are going to click on any, that is the not anyone, that is the correct answer. And for that you should know the answer of one line sentences, right? So monuments include samadhis, graves, virgala and buildings. So you are going to tick on that. Now see the next one. What is a tariq? A tariq or tawarik is is a sequence of events, right? So it can be given sequence of dates, or it can be given sequence of years. And what you are going to click on, by now you must have understood what you have to do. So you are going to click on the right answer, that is a tariq or tawarik is a sequence of events. Now coming to the third one, say I have taken only three, right? So I have taken only three, that is one line answers. You are altogether having 8 one line answers in lesson number 1. Okay, so first we did the textual exercises and then we have already done the remaining answers. So see the third one. What qualities of the author are important in the writing of history? Now author's impartiality and neutrality are important in the writing of history. So you will be given author's partiality and neutrality, so which is wrong. So again you are going to tick on the correct answer. 3 options will be given and you will be ticking on the correct answer, right? So in the same way you have many questions, that is one line questions, that is which structures are included in the term buildings, inscription of which dynasties have been found, or what information do we get from Bhakas, right? So such type of questions will be asked where three options will be given and you are going to click on the right option for getting the correct answer for your assessment. Children, in your workbook on page number 7, you have question number 4. Classify the following into material sources, written sources and oral sources of history. Now, when we did this question and discussed this question, I had told you to make 3 columns, and in these 3 columns, you have already written the material source, the written source and the oral source, or the space that is provided in your workbook, right? Now, see students, the question that I have put on the screen, which you are going to assess in your online assessment program. So, see on the screen towards your left and towards your right. So, you have three questions for this, right? Now, tick on the correct material sources. 3 options are given. So, one will be material source, one is written source and one is oral source. So, you have to tick on the correct material sources. Now, see the first one, books, fort and folk tales. Now, book, written source, fort, yes, it is material source, and folk tales, oral source. So, where are you going to tick here? Yes, at the second one. You will tick at the second one because what is the question asked? Correct material source. You have to tick on that. Okay. So, going on to the second one, that is coins, povada and travelogue. So, you have to tick at the material source. So, you are going to tick at the first one because second one is oral source and the third one is written source. Okay. Now, the third one, do it on your own. Temples, ovies and folk song. So, tick at the correct material source. Now, coming towards your right side, now look at the question, understand the question properly, tick on the correct oral sources. Now, oral sources. Here also 3 options are there. One is written source, one is oral source and one is material source. So, you have to tick on the oral source now, right? That is Chaitya, folk tales and Bhakar. So, what is the correct answer here? Yes, the second one, that is the folk tales which are orally told. Okay. Then coming to the second one, ovies, clothing and books. So, what will be the correct oral source here? Yes, that is ovies. And then coming to the third one, again I told you, do it on your own. 3 options are there, that is povada, utensils and copper plate. So, tick at the correct oral source. On the next slide, 3 questions will be there where you are going to tick on the correct written source. So, as I told you earlier that on the next slide, you are going to get 3 questions where you are going to tick on the correct written sources, right? Now, see the first one, that is rock inscriptions, fort and folk tales. So, what is the correct answer? That is rock inscription, because next 2 are, one is material and one is oral source. So, what is the correct answer here? That is rock inscription. So, we are going to see at all the 3 questions, right? So, the first one is the written source. That is, see question number 2, biographies, povada and temples. So, the first one is the written source, second oral and the third one is material source. So, you are going to tick on the first one. And see the third one there here, that is Bhakar, utensils and folk song. So, the correct answer is Bhakar. So, you are going to tick on that, right? So, I hope you understood that how this question, that is classified into the material sources, written sources and oral sources. So how it is given for your assessment. So 3 options and then you are going to tick at the correct one. Now see on your screen, that is there are 2 diagrams or the webs. Now this is question number 5 in your workbook, that is complete the following diagrams. Now see the first one, what it is? Types of forts. And what is the answer given there? That is the hill fort, sea fort, land fort and forest fort. Okay. Now here also students, I have not given it in a form of, you can say, that is a question, but I will discuss with you the question that can be asked for this, right? So here you will be asked on the top type of forts, okay, and then the options will be given, that is forest fort, sea fort, and then you are going to be given, that is the cave fort or the mountain fort. So 3 options. Out of the 3 options, one is going to be, 2 are going to be wrong and 1 is going to be correct, right? So then you are going to tick at the correct answer. Did you understand? As we have done with, you can say, that is material source, written source, oral source and the odd man out and the names for the sources of history. In the same way, 2 options will be wrong and 1 is going to be correct. So you are going to learn this too. Now see the second one. Now the second question is, that is the travelogue written by Al-Biruni, that is, and the remaining 2 names that are there given as answers. Now here also maybe you are going to get, that is one, that is the right answer, that is Al-Biruni, and the others maybe the other 2 names are going to be wrong. So here also what are you going to do here? You are going to identify the correct one, the correct name, and you are going to tick at that name. Did you understand? Okay. Now, so on the top you are going to say types of forts and then it will be, the options will be given. On the top you are going to get the question, that is travelogue written by, and you are going to get the options, right? And you are going to select here again at the right option and get the answer. Okay. Now you have one more on this, and which is there on the next slide. That is question number 3 in complete the following diagram. And what is the question there here? Available markers. Okay. Now 2 are given and it is complete the diagram. But here available markers, again 3 will be given and 1 is going to be correct and 2 the other names will be given. So here again you are going to identify the correct one and tick at the correct answer. Right students? Okay. So you have to study all this, which will be asked for MCQ. Right? That is, find the odd man out, complete the names of the following sources. Then what does it mean? That is, what is history, or what are the sources of history, what is Bhakar, what is copper plate, or what are the rock inscription, right? So as I told you, 3 options will be given and out of that 1 is going to be correct. Then we did with material sources, written sources and oral sources. Complete the following diagrams, and I told you we revised with 3, answer in 1 sentence, and altogether you are going having 8 of them. So study that all in the same manner so that you can get the right answer, which is the right one out of the 3 options that you are going to get it. Now students, today we have discussed and done the revision of lesson number 1 with different types of question, that is find the odd man out, or complete the names of the following sources of history. I have told you how you are going to get the questions for your online assessment. And question number 3, this can also be asked, that is, what does it mean? History, sources of history, copper plate, rock inscriptions, Bhaker. We have done with material, written and oral sources. Complete the following diagram and 3 questions of answer in 1 sentence. But I already told you that you have 8 altogether, and this can also be asked for your online assessment along with 3 options. Right, students here? Okay. Now, if you are going to come to lesson number 2, you have different sets of questions there, like name the following and complete the following timeline, select the appropriate alternatives, right? Then you have complete the following table, in which you are going, they have asked about the political power, fragments of Bahmani kingdom, temples looted by Muhammad Ghazni, right? So this will be discussed and done as revision in our next session. Along with it, you have many questions that are answered in brief. So from that too, you are going to see, that is, you are going to get the options. The question will be there, the options will be there, where you can click at the correct answer. Similarly, we have lesson number 1 of civics, in which there are questions like choose the right option, fill in the blanks, state whether the following statements are true or false. And here also you have graphical description, wherein the questions are types of constitution, composition of the Constituent Assembly, Indian Constitution consists of. So all this can be asked as MCQ questions for your online assessment, but you have to read and study all the answers. Right, students? Now, what is very important here, that what we have done today as revision, so I told you, you are going to write it in your rough book, you are going to take a screenshot, or you can pause the video, write down the answers and do the practice of it. This is all for today, students, till we meet again in our next session, where we are going to revise with lesson number 2 of history and lesson number 1 of civics. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.